A great story here. Jim Davidson, who lives up in Fort Collins, you know, I've featured him a couple of times on Tomer's Trails, most recently when he was training to go back to Everest to try to summit after running into the earthquake, and that was a couple of years ago. Well, he is back. He stood on the rooftop of the world, and he joins us live here in studio. Jim, first off, it's great to see you back here. Congratulations. And I want to know, how did it feel?
It was great. You know, there was a lot of work and there was a lot of tough days and everything, but on the day of the summit push, it just kind of all came together. Weather was in our favor, and just walking along that ridge at 29,000 feet was just absolutely magical.
And this is one of the things I remember in our interview when you said, you know, yeah, we've got the summit, but I'm looking forward to that last 100 yards or whatever that was.
Right.
When the sun's just, that horizon, that bending of the horizon, and you realize we've got this. How did that feel?
It did come together almost like we talked, which was, yeah, standing on the summit was great and everything like that, but literally and it was more than the last 100 yards. It turned out to be about the last 1,000 yards for that last half hour, an hour. We knew we had it in the bag. The sky in the east was turning blue. Jupiter and the moon were up on the horizon, and when I looked down, I could see stars low on the horizon, actually below us on the ridge, and it was just absolutely gorgeous.
Over 29,000 feet.
Yes.
So what was the hardest part for you on this expedition? You've been on several of these, but what was the hardest on this one?
The hardest one on this one was waiting. I mean, I went there deciding that I would stay as long as was necessary. After we got used to the altitude, we were hoping for about a 5 or 6 day wait in base camp. It went to 8 days, it went to 10 days, it went to 12 days. And all we could do was wait for the weather to clear, and that became a test of patience. But it actually taught me the most, too. I really figured out that patience is a form of perseverance.
Passive perseverance, isn't that what you said?
Yeah, that's what I wrote on my blog.
Because I remember some of, everybody's sitting at base camp, and this was a tough year to predict weather. The jet stream was all over the place, and the forecasts were changing constantly, and you guys were seeing that firsthand down there. I mean, what was that conversation like?
One day I'd be up and I would cheer up my teammate, and the next day we'd reverse roles and I'd be down. I said, we're never going to get up this mountain. And I'm so used to being an active person like yourself, I thought perseverance was go, go, go. But I found out on this one that patience can be a form of passive perseverance. We're just going to sit here and we'll wait until the weather clears, and then we'll go. And that was the biggest learning for me in base camp.
Now, you said you lost about 18 pounds while you were there.
Right.
Through that long 2-month expedition. So on that final push, I mean, were you eating everything that you could to get, the amount of energy you had in the tank for this thing? How was that effort? How, was trying to maintain the energy level?
Yeah, eating was a big thing. It gets harder as you go because you get bored of the food. It's nothing but carbs and stuff, and lots of times the food is cold. And so the last couple of days in base camp, I was literally hovering over my plate. I would shovel the food in my throat and get it down with a glass of water, and I pictured Rocky in Rocky I drinking the raw eggs out of a pitcher. I was like, I will get this food in me to be strong enough for the summit. And that was the only way I could get the food down, and even still, we lost incredible amounts of weight.
It's incredible, Jim. I couldn't be happier for you. I mean, I was on the edge of my seat. I was, we were doing updates on you here on the show, and
thanks.
Congratulations again, and it's great to have you in here.
Yeah, great support from you, from the people from Colorado, so I really appreciate that a lot.
Thanks, Jim.
Thanks.
Thanks, buddy. All right, back to you guys.
Jim, it's an honor to be with you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Good
I like
job.
that theory of patience is passive persistence.
Perseverance.
Perseverance.
Yeah.
Either way, it just means doing nothing can be perseverance.